So today we're going to do a walkthrough of the exhibitions. We will start in our main gallery with Feeling Language, organized by Kate Foster. Thanks, Kate. And then we will move into our annex space and take a look at the exhibition titled A Not So Common Iguana and Other Tales, featuring works by Janet Moore and NIAD artist Saul Algeria. So I'm going to turn it over to Kate, and we'll get to hear a little bit more about this exhibition. So thank you.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for everyone who is here in the space and who's online. It's so special to gather together for this show, which I'm really proud of, and only can be possible because there's so many people in this show. It's actually 35 artists, some of whom are part of NIAD and in the gallery right now, some of whom are online right now, and some who are guests of NIAD. So we have artists like Steph and Mitsuko and Negash, who's online. I'm so excited that you're here and part of this. There's two artists from the community arts program, which is really special to me. But let's welcome you to the space. A really big, heartfelt show. And because it's all about the words and expression that we share together, I thought I'd read the statement and then let the work and the artists speak for itself. I just also want to say like how big of an install this was and how grateful I am for artists helping, like Steph, for Julio's help, for Liliana's help, and all of the NIAD staff and community who made it possible. When you make something big, you have to have a lot of hands. So thank you. Feeling Language. This show is all about comfort text, resilience in everyday words, writing and reading. Expression can also be wordless, the use of line and color as new vocabulary, pushing thought out onto a surface, making marks, and continuously trying to communicate with the world. We tell stories to sustain ourselves and find each other. These messages embedded in art become an emotional telegram, a signal flare with a flame of memory trailing behind it. Feeling Language is about books, lists, slogans, language, gesture, touch, and trust given in sharing. I'm so grateful because I feel like coming to NIAD, there was immediately trust here. And because I was invited to be in this show, I feel like I opened a door to a magical, magical place. So I'm so grateful and proud to get to be in NIAD. So you can see behind me, there's a lot of different work, and a lot of it has words, but also some of it is completely wordless. Tre'von's piece, which has Halisi's text painted onto the wall, is this example of like how art itself is an act of communication. There's also ASL in like different works. Steph Kudisch has artwork that incorporates ASL. Props to our interpreter. We have postcards that Mitsuko worked on and sent to NIAD. We have pieces of wood that Gigot made from the community arts program. And you can see here more painted on wall text that is based off of Heather's work. When we incorporated any of the wall text, it's from NIAD artists' personal writing. And that is such a gift to actually translate someone's writing through the action of making it way bigger. It's really empowering and really different. And there's a secret little thing too that you can see the windows. There's these paper cuts that I made. I don't know if you can see them, but it's kind of cool. I guess you have to go to NIAD You just have to go in person and see these windows, because what I like about paper cut is they're see-through. And that's actually what all art ends up doing, is we see through it and we see more of ourselves and more of each other the longer we look at it. I'm gonna turn it back to Julio and the artists here, but I just wanted to say thank you. And also online, you can see more of the work and so much more of it in person. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so speaking of wall text, I'd like to introduce Heather Copus. And so, Heather, would you like to talk to us a little bit about the words that we have here?
I wrote the letters all by myself.
Yeah.
I do, the pattern apart. That's what I like it.
Yeah, and what do you think about seeing the words so big on the wall, Heather?
I do the stenciling.
Yeah, stenciling is how you make these letters, right? In your own writing.
Yeah, I use the pencil first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I use Sharpie. After Sharpie, I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm tracing in it.
Yeah. And do you do a lot of writing in your work normally, Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel nice to like write things down?
Yeah, with a pencil.
Yeah.
I use a pencil first, and then I go like this, this way.
Yeah.
And then I like to go just the pattern of the part.
Yeah.
I like control myself, so I can control myself so I can stay in the park. I don't want to get out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. So like staying in the shapes, in the lines that you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right on.
I don't want to get out of the park.
Yeah. Well, Heather, I'm sort of curious how you choose the words that you're writing. Are you looking at other things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pattern of the park. So I like the pattern of the park.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. I'm curious about the cats. Is there anything that you want to tell us about?
He's a drummer. I'm a guitar player, and then I'm going to be a drummer.
Is this a reference to the members of KISS?
Yeah.
The bands?
Yeah.
Remind me, who's the one that does the cat makeup?
He Chris.
Okay. Amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah. He's gonna do my face. He's gonna use the pencil on my face.
Does the whiskers on his face, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a question for you.
Looks like Halisi's got a question.
For me?
Yes.
What's up, Felicia?
So the question is that cut out shape, cut out, or is it like or is
I
it
trace the letters.
Tracing.
So
Is it cut out or tracing?
Tracing.
Tracing.
Use a pencil to do it, Lucy.
Well, I did a lot of work as a
yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah, you said you use stencils. Is that right, Heather?
Yes, stencils.
Yeah.
Yeah, like work.
That's the pattern of the part, because I can control for myself. So I can get to I don't want to get and control for myself, so I can get in the park. I don't want to get out of the park.
I gotcha. Cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad that we were able to include some of your text here in this show. We also have some of your artwork on this other wall. Can we take a look at that stuff too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's turn this over and we'll have a look at a couple other pieces by Heather Copus. So up top, there's a
ID kids.
yeah. So might be a little bit difficult to make out online, but there's text that reads "kiss."
KISS, and this is for Paul Stanley.
I see.
This is for him, and when he's gonna hang it up, I'm gonna get it.
So you're a big fan of Kiss. Is that right, Heather?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what about this print that's underneath it? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Spider.
A spider?
Yeah.
And I see the number 5 in the middle.
Yeah, I did that myself.
What's the number 5 about?
Number 5 is means I'm gonna stay in the band.
So
I don't want to get out with the band.
you're the 5th member of Kiss.
Yeah.
Number 5. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, Heather. Let's give Heather a hand. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Heather.
So I can't wait to get paid.
Yeah, you got it. All right. And I think now maybe we can take a look at these paintings on panel by Mitsuko Brooks.
Hey, I just want to say also how amazing it is Mitsuko mailed these works in, who's an incredible artist. We're so happy to have her. I want to just also say how moved by someone's work you can be and only see it online, and then you see it in person and you publicly weep. So thank you so much for being in this show. Take it away. Yeah. Hi. Yes,
Okay.
you, please.
So thanks so much for inviting me to be in the show, and I really like all the other works too, and I like how the previous artist was talking about Kiss and how that inspired your work, because one of the pieces that I mailed in, the smaller book cover that says "Remember to Fall in Love," that is actually a song lyric from the band Brothers. It's a song. The song's called "Swoon." So I like that parallel of music and how it inspires us and can change our mood. And then I just listened to this song over and over for a long time, and felt like it's important to to keep your heart open and be positive and not be closed off and think there isn't still love in the world. And then the small mail art piece above that says "You Are Here." I was walking around the neighborhood I live in Brooklyn, and someone
Thank you.
bitched that "You Are Here," and I was like, I love that. It made me stop like what I was doing and think, it's like mindfulness, or just be in your body and be present. And so that's why I made that piece. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, and we can talk maybe a bit about your paintings too that you submitted. You were like one of the first artists I thought of when I was looking through the NIAD archive, because there's so many words at NIAD. And I was like, who else is a word person? And I thought immediately of you. We have these beautiful, let's see if I can do this right. There's artist Sam, also. Hi, Sam's also in the show. Hey, word up. How fitting. Word up is perfect for this show. Yeah, word up. Come on. So there's these beautiful paintings. And they're really important books to you, right?
Yeah, they're books that my sister read in college, and then they were in the basement in a box, and I was in high school, and so I just dug through her stuff and just read them and was inspired. And these books, these paintings of these book covers of these books were not books that were in my high school, that were read or talked about. It's feminist, it's BIPOC stories, important stuff, Audre Lorde, and many others. And so these are the actual covers that I remember, because, different book covers change through different editions. So it was nice to kind of reinvent them. And so I just painted them on wood last year for another show, and I'm really happy that they get to be seen. Thank you.
Question for,
Yeah. I think that's actually a perfect transition from the idea of translating an object into a painting is going back and thinking about wall text. That's a translation of someone's writing. So I think maybe the artist Karen May, and just one more time, thank you. Thank you so much. There's one artist present, Karen May.
I can. That's me. Hi, good.
Hey, Danny, we're currently doing an artist talk. If you want to jump into the chat, that would be best. But right now, we're going to hear from Karen May about some of her words.
It says on the wall, it says, can you be happy now at home, love, and also as I see you now, parents at home, tonight, kitty see May, which is an question mark, she said. But that today, go back home.
Amazing. Let's give Karen a hand. Karen, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you wrote? I'm curious about.
I did some thinking.
Yeah.
All I did in the book, and I wrote down, can you be happy?
Yeah.
It's got 4 letters. The same thing with now at home, I put 3 letters down.
Yeah.
Let it all simple. As I see you now, and I sign my name again.
Yeah.
Parent at home. And here you May. That's Tuesday, and go back up.
Karen, are you doing a lot of writing at home? Is this
Yes,
something that
I'm
you do?
doing a lot of writing at home.
Yeah.
Writing, let's say at home, I'm putting different words down.
Okay. And
Also.
are these like, like you're talking about what happened that day?
Yeah, what happened, and what I say in the book, it's like, can be happy.
Yeah.
He's being happy
Yeah.
today because he's doing artwork at home.
Very nice. And I just want to mention about the colors. Because in your.
We can't try something. I did it. When I wrote the word, I put it down in pencil.
Yeah.
And then after that, I tried a different color, and I wrote it in, and I put it in red, blue, and green, and it came out different.
Yeah. Yeah. We might have made quick adjustments to the colors.
That's what Kitty said. You can make anything. Maybe the adjustment would be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That color.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You can make any adjustment. When you have consent, I think you just did. Made it pencil, then you use some color.
I appreciate the use of color. I feel like adds another layer to the writing.
Put some layer in it. See what color it looks.
Yeah.
Oh, with a dot. Oh, a question mark.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Karen. Let's give Karen a hand. And so we have one more moment where there is wall text in the gallery. We painted words that were written by Halisi Noel-Johnson. And I'm going to turn it over to Halisi in a second. Just want to get this over. And
I would be fighting it. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well,
Passing to
one.
sign, and so could you move her to the spotlight, please?
Yeah. Let's.
Thank you.
There.
Hi.
Hi, Halisi.
So for you, the person is here today. I'm Halisi. I'm an artist at NIAD.
An artist at NIAD?
The word is up there is my writing for Friday or Friday afternoon. So,
This writing is from my journal from Friday afternoon.
okay, so lovely moments. So what I like is how I feel that day, or I use different things about how I feel, or if I sad, or if I'm angry or something, I write that in my journal. I don't express it out.
Okay, so Halisi shared that the writing in her journal has to do with what you're feeling on a certain day, whether maybe you're sad, maybe moments of happiness as well.
Like,
Yeah. I think this text is beautiful, Halisi. I'm curious, because you're talking about family. You mentioned loving moments. Was this, were you feeling good in this moment when you wrote this? Curious if you can share anything about.
I was just going to take that photograph and show to my parents that some writing that I have shown now. When I share that with my parents.
So family's very important to you.
Yes.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Thank you, Halisi. Let's give Halisi a hand.
Well, I said thank you for letting me share my signing, because I have been signing for many years, so thanks for letting me share my signing.
Well, thank you, Halisi. All right. I also just want to briefly mention we do have several NIAD artists present in the gallery who have work in the exhibition. We have ceramic words from Sara Malpass. Let's give Sara a hand. It seems very fitting. Sara is self-titled Word Woman. Is that right, Sara? Yeah. So it's really, it feels like, how could we not include some of Sara's work? We also have works from Louie Spagnola. Let's give Louie a hand. And right next to Louie's work, we have a letterpress print from Shana Harper. There are also several books here in the center of the gallery, including we have books by Karen May, who spoke earlier. We have a book by Sam Kershnar, who I will. Sam, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's included in this book that we have in the show?
So I was inspired by Disney because I watched a lot of Disney and I can relate, there's been a lot of family transitions growing up. So I wanted to make a book with children in all age and people of all ages.
Yeah.
Of all different favorites that I like.
Yeah.
The book and also movie and the Story in the Stone.
Yeah.
Great story, and then Girls of those car. I love the car.
Oh, that's great.
And the wolf, the Fear and the Wolf. I know it's not really it's
Good word, yeah.
And then the Evil Queen, why when she was, fixed the poster. And the Evil Queen looks in the mirror. Then we have Stop the Dwarf, which is the smartest and the leader of the dwarf.
Very nice.
Then Grumpy, who, always Sorry.
I think we can relate to that.
And then we have the monster tree, which is in the movie Snow White and the Huntsman, which I love. And then this is one of the Disney scenes from Pluto.
Very nice.
And then Goofy, which is one of my favorite characters. I love dogs. And then Donald Duck, which is always funny. And I also did great impressions, so I love Donald Duck. And then also Mickey cartoon. This is from Fantasia, the talking trees and dancing trees. And then from Shrek, the Candyman, and then Oswald is an old Disney one. Then my favorite is dragons, mythical.
Okay.
Like my tattoo on my arm. I love dragons
nice.
because they're fierce and they travel in packs sometimes, and they like to breathe fire. So if I was ever mad, I would like to breathe fire. And then 101 Dalmatians, I love, the different spots. And then I did one on dragons.
Amazing.
And then coaching.
Yeah.
That's it, coaching.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. So there you go, walkthrough of Sam's book.
Yeah, hey, I actually love that about books is they slow down time, and those drawings could totally be on their own, but when they're bound as a book, they kind of create more of a story. So we have another NIAD artist right next to Sam, Sarah, who made that amazing cursive ceramic word art. You want to talk a bit about your process?
I did those words in clay and I wrote them down on paper.
Why do you pick the words you pick?
I picked a magazine, newspaper, and a book.
Ooh. So you're picking words that you like from things you read.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. Are there words that really stick out to you? Yeah. What's your favorite word?
Hot water.
It is hot water. It is hot water.
Amazing. All right. Beautiful. Let's
Thank
give
you so
Sarah
much.
another round of applause. And I also want to mention that we have a print on a wall by artist Dorian Reid, who's also present. Let's get a little bit closer here. And so, yes, this is a screen print. So, Dory, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on here?
Because I done that for my relatives. I have relatives that would belong to that hamper. Like I have a cousin named Shell. I have a cousin who was the first women got initiated to Black Panther. And I have a cousin, and I have another cousin who was involved in Black Panther. So it's Joan and Dennis Joan was the first relative that got initiated to Black Panther. And then I had a relative named Dennis who was also part of the Black Panther. So I started to think about the powers of people.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking from the generation, from Joan and Dennis, from the old generation to the new generation.
Yeah.
And South Shore. So I just decided that when Joan and Dennis, they went over the Black Panther, like when all the powers of people.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's from them to me.
Yeah.
Nothing Joan, nothing younger.
Right.
For the Black Panther.
Great.
So then I decided to take their logo.
Yeah.
And logo on
Yeah.
to the logo to all the parts of people.
Yeah.
For the generations from the old to the new.
Awesome. That's beautiful, Dory. Let's give Dory a hand. What's up, Shantae? You want to say hi to Halisi? So Shantae wants to say hi to Halisi. Let's say hello very quickly.
Hey, Shantae.
Hey, Lisi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
Good.
Very nice.
I'm going for Dory real quick.
Connections. Thank you, Shante. And just want to do one final look at the Feeling Language exhibition before we move on to the show in our annex space. Thanks again to everyone who joined us here and the artists who participated in the talk. Thank you, Kate. And here's one last look.
Amazing. I love the back reel. It's a feeling
Language. I just want to also give a shout out to Yutra, who also has a book in the back. So really, definitely check out the books in the space and in the annex. Just as a cool transition, she has a beautiful sketchbook. And also Steph Kudisch has a ceramic book right here. So that's really, just because they're in the room, they should.
Thank you.